Yes, blessed. Boom, baby, boom. Rise and shine. It's a hot one today, boys. We shining. We got extra shine on. We got that hot sauce. That's what happens when you get that extra shine on you, man. I'm already got the hat on. I got the sombrero. Got to keep the sun off my head row. You already know though. We in this. We in this. This is the morning marijuana motivation. Let's get some motivation on where this hat starts taking off. We start getting it in. It's the morning time. I like to take it slow. Been up since about 5 a.m. I always get up early lately. Not my whole life, but like the last 2 years or something. I just felt the need to live before I died. Thanks, dog, chiming in. You know, little Tyson rap here, little Toad rap. We got connects. We got shine. Thank you, dog. Say hi. Everybody's saying hi. Being their badass security ADT selves. Ooh, that looks like lilac. Hold tight, hold tight. I think it is. I think it is. Oh my God, it is. That's where it's at. Lilac. What a great smell. That's the smell right there. Got my monkey tail. Monkey tail. That other red days. We got my hat. And that's been 2 minutes of shine without even talking about winning emotionally or winning at emotions, shall I say. That's the topic of the session because that's the winning objective. You can, that's on my throat. You can push, you can shove, but unless your mind's in the right place, good morning, you ain't gonna get nowhere. And unfortunately, that's where our lives live. We live in places that we push ourselves motivated only by, yes, do your job, dog, do your job. Motivated mostly by fear. Say hello. Say hello, dog. Do your job. Do your job and tell your mind what to do. Tell your mind how to think. This is winning at emotions. Most people would just love to say and bark and sit in their backyard and just bark and bitch. And that's most of us. That's most of our personalities. When we're fired up, also we got the energy. Everybody's in our backyard. Then we show up until that moment that most people are waiting for, they have no motivation. They have nothing but to do but bitch, just like these dogs. They have probably the most precious life on earth compared to all the other countries in meals and attention and lifestyle and toys, but yet they're still not happy and they're mimicking us. They're mimicking our behaviors, they're mimicking our fears and our insecurities. And it's the truth. When you look at yourself, objectively, or you ask some people to ask them how you are to deal with, right? And I'm sure it's not going to be an easy pill to swallow. Most awareness isn't. When you're becoming self-aware, you're going to have to peel back some layers. And what I've been noticing about this emotional education that I'm learning about us is there's a lot of layers. Come on, hat, stop being a little bitch. There's a lot of layers. I just got yelling at this hat, yo. This is the layer that I'm talking about. Like me being frustrated with my hat right now. How did I get frustrated over something so small? And it turns out that's what's in our limbic system. We have so many things going on for our personalities and the way we process our emotions. It's staggering. They asked the best question come the fuck on. They asked the best question. And the best question that they asked the guy was, you know, how many chemicals are in an emotion? Like, how much squirt of serotonin or dopamine in your brain does it take you to get an emotional reaction? And turns out not that much. You know, since the dawn of time, we've been evolving, and with our brains, we've came up with ways to pair our emotions with our memories. We have learned through experience. We go, hey, that's how you're going to remember. Remember, that's hot. That's hot. That stove's hot. You do this. This is what's going to happen. This is pretty much our fear learning ability, right? Like, as long as there's pain involved, you're going to remember longer. So we pair literally inside of our brains. I think he said it was the hippocampus. The hippocampus in our brains talks to our, come on, Saint, before you get too high. Our hippocampus talks to our, not limbic system, that's the reptilian system. The hippocampus. And anyway, I'm not a doctor. And I do have a psych degree, but I don't get to practice psychology. But what I do, and is on a regular, is learn about the human brain and behavior. And it's something that's of utmost interest to me. I know some human beings, they only want to know how people make money or how to get a girl or something of that effect. None of that interests me. That's not this kind of show. But you could get all those things as soon as you watch the show. And the reason why is it's all in our emotions. We are stuck in an emotional way. We get in our own way and we don't even know it. You find yourself at the bottom of an orgy pile and you're like, how did I get here? What if we made decisions to rob banks or have abortions or what other bullshit that goes on in life? What about me helped me make these bad decisions? And then you get to ask yourself the true question. You know, come on, you stupid fucking hat. I'm gonna start walking this way. Okay, I'm gonna go walk in the opposite direction. I'm not going against the wind no more. I'm gonna just go with the flow and get my mind right, because I can make a choice. I can make the choice. I've been making the choice. And that's another what the fuck self-aware moment. It's like, you've been making the choices. You've been making the choices to date scary men. That's why you got hogtied, butt naked, and they stole all the stuff from the house. I said, whoa, talking to my homegirl, I was like, that's a hell of an experience. You're dating scary drug dealers and they're getting robbed and you're getting hogtied. What about you made that decision? And a lot of people get stuck right there. They go, how did I get here? How did I get in the ice cream line? I don't even know. I don't even know 95% of my decisions because they're all emotional. And I didn't know. I didn't know I was making those kind of decisions. I didn't know I was making decisions, period. And as an emotional child, now adult, hello, after having 40 years or at least, 40 years of, high tension between my parents, alcoholism, abuse, I turned out my limbic system got developed for that. I'm gonna fucking slap this hat, dude. I'm not the one today, bro. Not the one. Okay, then I'll just keep walking away from the wind. Okay, this shit. And that's what ends up happening to me. I can't deal anymore. My limbic system takes over. I get stressed out and my reptile comes out. I start hitting, I start yelling, I get aggravated. Even now you can see me with my hat, get frustrated. And that's what ends up happening to us. We get frustrated and then we're triggered and then we want to know why we're not getting to where we need to be. It's because we put our energy into those emotions. We put energy into, oh, I was triggered, so now I got to follow through with it. My whole brain's firing all sorts of chemicals. It's telling me what to do, basically, and my body takes over. It took over so hard that it got it up out of bed, got me in the car at 4 a.m. to go get some ice cream. I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one that's found themselves at a gambling table and go, how did I lose it all? Not that each story applies to me, but I'm talking about everybody's story. Why am I still sleeping with this person? They were just rude to me an hour ago. You're like, I'm a confusing being. Us humans, we're confusing. We destroy our own habitat. We have high energy, but no control over that energy. And our education is based off of growing instead of learning. You know, growth of money, growth of education, more education, and yet, like you said, those CEOs didn't even know how to talk to their secretaries. They didn't know how to talk to their wives. All they knew was how to make money. They didn't know how to support someone psychologically. Certain things we get into and we start perfecting, right? We want to perfect certain things about ourselves. We can feel the pain in bad decisions, and most monkeys go, well, if I learn better decisions, better outcomes. Sorry. Apologies. When I smoke these blunts, they be making me cough a lot, spitting it out. But the power of our minds to start go through a cycle of memories and evoking these emotions is another way of someone sitting there and doing drugs. You literally set across the time. I could clock out about 4 o'clock. I'll pull up to the bar, and by 5 I'll be buzzing. Hell, I'll even give myself 4 more hours of drinking. Gotta get back done by 10. Get home, get in bed, rinse, repeat. And it's worth repeating that we are on repeat. We are on habits. We've been emotional the whole time, all of us, not just me. I'm just the first to admit it, but it's all of us. Let me brighten the screen. It's all of us. All of us are under the ether of our own minds, and whatever thoughts that we load in is what we'll get. We'll get those scary thoughts because we'll cycle on scary thoughts. Mr. Energy Las Vegas Paving, he knows what I'm talking about. And a true pimp, or a mind that ain't a simp, doesn't have thoughts that it some sort of check-in. You know, you got to check in mentally. You're gonna have to find yourself going like, holy shit, I'm cycling. I'm the one that picked this thought, and now I triple dog dare you to get Superman with it and stop that thought. I triple dog dare you to change thoughts. And I also triple dog dare you to start saying better thoughts to yourself. You know, mantras are a motherfucker, so self-talk. I mean, if you're already doing negative self-talk to yourself, imagine the secrets that you are holding back inside of you or not telling yourself. And that sounds weird because you'd be like, what? I should know all the secrets to myself, right? Like every secret, I was there, all the shamey stuff, all the sad stuff that I keep cycling up and probably making up half of it because it was so long ago. We want the buzz. I need the feeling that every time I think about Uncle Jim and Uncle Charles, y'all, passed away, that I, get that same feeling. That, I got my Aunt Marlene, my great Aunt Marlene, and whenever she passed away or I think about her, I want the same feeling. I correlated my feelings to a memory. I pair bonded the same sensation to myself inside myself. So that's the secret, is that all of us have these little secrets, these little memories that we paired emotions to, and most of us don't even know why. Repressed childhood memories, survival strategies, I mean, we're almost the blind leading the blind. And I was shocked. I was shocked at the amount of energy or secretiveness that took place. I was shocked at the amount of rooms that I had inside me that I didn't know. I was mad because my sophisticated brain that knows psychology and knows people and has a degree didn't show up. That's not who showed up. The limbic system did. Before I could even say the word pause, thank you very much, Mr. Small Engine, Mr. Small Life. Please don't die in front of me. This guy's popping a wheelie and shit. You know, what makes him bad? What makes him go, oh man, I need to threaten my life. I need to be unsafe real quick. Limbic system. Our reptilian system. The one that's taught us how to survive. The one that kicks in before we even know we're kicking in. There's things that our systems, you know? That's so cool. You jump. Flower action. And then you don't even know that you jumped. Again, it's like finding yourself inside the ice cream aisle. You're like, how the fuck did I get here? Before you even thought chocolate's bad for me or I'm already overweight, you're in the drive-thru paying for the food. How much that cost? I don't know. Where'd you go eat yesterday? I don't remember. Okay, when's the last time you showered? I mean, we get off into our own worlds. And did I even brush my teeth today? Fuck, I forgot deodorant. I'm sure that you weren't being mindful. I'm sure you didn't check in at all. I'm sure you went right back to the limbic system, started operating from scarcity and fear and lack, and you want the buzz because that's what's going to get you out of bed so you can work the long hours so that your kids can stay fed. You kicked in your emergency defense mechanism. And a lot of us do it on a regular basis. And we don't even know that that's our buzz. We only think we're buzzed when we're intoxicated. You are under the ether now. Even to wake your system up. My God, there's systems like hormones that are making proteins and proteins that have emotions attached to it. There's a whole system here. I said, my God in heaven, the God inside of me, the God inside of you, you are a God. You are the capability of manufacturing what you want in your life and telling your body what to do and having control over your mind. What a sensation. I thought mind control was some kind of experiment for the CIA in the 60s. It's 2022 and I'm still talking about it. How did we get this much information but no control over ourselves? How are we still under the ether of, I'm just going to purchase my way out of it? You know, I'm one bag away from getting that buzz. And I mean, most people will classify addiction, if we only just talked about alcohol or, you know, NA, cocaine, or narcotics of any sort. I am talking about the most powerful narcotics on the planet, our hormones. Our own hormones inside of us dictate everything. It dictated our genetics, dictates our metabolism, and we can dictate to them. And I was like, no fucking way. So what you're telling me is I can fire these genes inside of me? They were literally doing, because they mapped the whole genetics now. This has happened. Now, 2022, the whole genome of the human species, every single piece of cancer, every single piece of disease that's ever happened in man is in this stripe. And I'm talking about every disease, like Parkinson's, lymphoma, you name it. And they're realizing that it's not just genetics. It was in the other people. It's just that that gene wasn't switched on. You don't believe me? I'll put the video below. You can listen to these guys, way smarter than me, doing all the extras, the peptides and the lip nodes, and very deep, scientific, very smart people. Doctors. I'm not a doctor again. You know, I'm a human that should know my own human body and should know my own human mind. But forever and a day, my mind has been a mystery to me. My reactions have been shocking even to myself. And why an educated male with a psychology degree freak out in the worst times of his life was anxiety, was fear, was me going back to my childhood, add a little psychology to it, and reliving the fear moments. I'm going back to when I was a kid and my parents are getting divorced and they're yelling at each other. I'm back to that. How many of you have done it? How many of you have regressed? How many of you caught yourself acting like your parents? Literally, I was outside of my body acting like my father, and I just kind of looked at myself like, holy shit. Holy shit. Where'd that guy come from? Why is he here? Why is my father jumping out of me when I should be myself? Saint, you got scared. You were so fucking scared that you fought for your life and your child's life and acted a fool. Most people, especially if they're under the ether, think about it. How many times have you seen someone emotional at a bar? How deep is that? And someone talks about their childhood or their parents or any other thing that's in that other locked up closet in our rooms in our mind. And somebody accidentally opened the door and Pandora's box comes spilling out of all the raw emotions that you're supposed to hide and you're not supposed to have, and it's not socially acceptable, but now you're drunk. Now you have no filter. Straight to the limbic system we go. No more Abdullah Oblongata. No more reservations. They call it, what did they call it? Liquid courage. And now all of a sudden you have the courage to say what you really feel. And some people need this, you know? That's the fucking challenge. Some people need this, you know? That's their way of talking. They go and drink till they can talk out loud about everything, feel no pain about it, which is really interesting because we need the emotions to get the buzz, and then we'll go drink the alcohol to not feel that buzz, but we'll still go back to the emotion and talk about it. How many of us have done it? Raise your hand. You're lying. Don't lie. Don't lie on my show. If you want to lie, go somewhere else. You got to go. We don't lie around here at Saints Addiction. We tell the truth on ourselves. And the truth of it, first DUI, my ex, I'm fine. Drove, drunk, pulled over, spilled all my shit right on out of my fucking wallet. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking, I was feeling. And you were doing it too. You were feeling some type of way, so that way you drank. And then you turned your fucking bartender into a psychologist and you started to talk. And you got in the mode to talk because you couldn't talk to yourself. No, you didn't sit long enough for that. You had to swallow it to a complete motherfucking stranger who just took all your money. How's that make sense? It doesn't. And it really doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. And I wanted to make sense. Why are my suffering happening? Most people are driving all the way to India trying to figure that shit out. You know, they go to the Himalayan mountains and say, you know, what's the meaning of my life? And I can't tell someone what the meaning of their life is. They tell themselves what the meaning of their life is. They tell their bodies. Their mind is separated from their bodies, and their emotions are separated from their thoughts. They know that they're linked. You're like, well, how are your emotions and thoughts different, Saint? Well, I mean, you're listening. That's your freebie. That's your chance to choose in life. You go, hey, you know, I want to go in the drama aisle. Let's go get that buzz. Blockbuster is a huge case in point on our choices of entertainment. If I go and I see you, I think I know that dude. As soon as I waved. It's a little windy today. You know, I was trying to say something, I got distracted. That's how it works, just like that. Oh, the choice is real, you know? Our choices are real in front of us, and we're making them so rapid. One of the psychologists that I listened to explained it way better than me, but she said it just like this. She said, the guys are, you know, do I eat? Look at the amount of decisions it takes, right? When you go out to eat, what do I want to eat? Where do I want to eat? Who do I want to eat with? And what are we going to eat? What kind of conversations? These are all vibes that we're making decisions and choices all the time. Simple choice, one thing, becomes about 10 different things underneath it. One choice of, where do I want to go to school is a loaded question. All of our emotions are loaded. They're loaded with energy. And that's the amazing part. They're loaded with energy, dude. And that's what started to shock me. I was shocked at this process that one thing that we thought was so simple as a thought, like brushing your teeth. Yeah, but are you happy in the mirror? And you just go, what? Yeah, do you look yourself in the eye? Or do you just stare at your gut and call yourself fat real quick, real silently? How many of us do that? How many of us are making ourselves fucking miserable? Making ourselves, instead of making ourselves and making ourselves into the situation we want to be in life, instead of making our lives the way we want them to be, we make ourselves emotional. We're literally set up for failure like that, where all of a sudden we're cycling on everything that's wrong since early in the morning, and that's our first cocktail of the day. It's our chemicals in our brain are the cocktail. And whether we know it or not, or meditate, or buy crystals, or whatever other things that people are trying, right? This conversation that you have with yourself in the morning is the most important. And that's why I don't go live like when I wake up. It's to be shared with me and me alone. It's my consciousness. It's my habits laid to bear. And the way that I feel actually in a conversation, like, what do you want to do with this life? Okay, well, you got woke up. You're alive again. What do you want to do with the breath in your lungs? What do you want to do with this awesome brain of yours? And most people, they go right back to it. It's easy to get back into a habit. That's what the guy was on the challenge about. And what did he say? Something about change. The hardest thing about change is not repeating the same thing you did the day before. I mean, I was shocked. I was like, if I was to take on that challenge, and you were too, just me challenging you, but like challenge yourself to not do the same shit every day. And I mean it. And I have to say I mean it, because it's almost scary to me to think it. I'm like, well, I got all these patterns. Well, now I got a new pattern. I'm in control of this mind. I was in control of the habit when I first said it. I said it myself. I said, hey, sleep in, take a couple shits, go back, play on the phone, take a shit, play on the phone. I am choosing what I want out of my life. And most people don't have the balls to admit that they're only leveling up to what level they want the most. When it's up to you, if it's meant to be, it's up to me, you're going to be like, who's going to whisper in your ear when you are laying on said couch taking said shit? Who's going to tell you stop bringing your phone to the shitter? How are you going to get your mind to control your body and stop letting the emotions creep in? And for once say, I didn't do it because I felt it. And you're like, holy shit. If you don't do something out of your feelings, if you did something because I chose it, that's a powerful statement. Most people don't choose it. They feel it. They're under the assumption of old memories, warfare, and in our heads, all of us, 95%, boom, all emotional. Why'd I buy that? Why'd I sleep with her? Why am I wearing these clothes right now? All emotional. And you're just like, holy shit. I didn't realize that I was in so much control. I didn't realize the subversive decisions that I've been making. Most people won't tell you that, because that's psychology. That's advertising. That's marketing. That's marketing. My job is to, or most advertisers, to find a problem and fix it for you, right? Or they create a problem. Like I got creaky knees, or what was the other, yawning disease, or I don't even know. They'll give you a pill for anything. But here I am, ShamWow, buy two now. And you're just like, that's it. It's external, it's easy. It comes with a guy with an Australian accent. And we feel that look at all the cars and homes that we can just purchase our way out. And we give our power away to Amazon and we tell them, hey, come bring me my stuff. I don't even have to leave my own home. Why talk to anybody? Got my car, my home, and you deliver everything, including my groceries. What's the point? The point is to check in. The point is these things used to be part of the community, taking out your own trash so you can't see your neighbors. You guys leave the house at the same time, finally acknowledge each other. At least wave. At least do that. I didn't ask you to make them your fucking psychologist, but we ignore ourselves. We ignore our neighbors. We ignore all the signals. And then we're under the ether. All the things are right there for us. Why would you even think for yourself? We got Netflix at home. Why would we turn off the TV and actually talk to each other? I'm still waiting for my mom to have a conversation with me about why my relationship didn't work out. Where's the education at? No, it's the silent treatment. And you're like, my dad, silent treatment. How was I ever going to learn during this silent treatment? How are we ever going to move forward and all of us get the touchdown? All of us start thinking in win-win scenarios unless we start sharing the information together. How many people are doing that? Nope. Right on my phone. I'll tell my whole fucking life story to Instagram. But as soon as it's time to talk to my friends, I get on my phone. I avoid tough subjects. I don't want to bum anyone out, quote into quote. How many people do you know do that? Where what's really on their mind is now buried levels deep, and what really could happen is now further away because it's not worked on. We'll go to work, but we won't work on ourselves. We'll pull 40 hours. $40 hours of work every week. But not even 4 minutes to talk to ourselves in the morning. It's bam, right on the phones. And it needs to be said. Same when you're doing your entrepreneurship, it needs to be said. You don't work 9 to 5 anymore. You work 95 hours a week. And if that ain't worth your freedom, I don't know what else is. I know slavery, they'll work you 95 hours a week and not give you anything for it. So why not work 95 hours for yourself? Why not put 4 hours into yourself? Why not pick up the book instead of being read to? So many things are in our decision capabilities. And especially if you start seeing them that, am I being emotional? Like right now, am I being emotional? Usually if you're having ice cream in your hand or a drink, you are. And I don't mean like the new app and everybody just looks like they're devastated and whining and crying. It's the worst day of their life. They go from smiling to crying. Stupid app, but stupid emotions. We know what it's like. We can see it on their face. It might be the deep fake now. Maybe that's not real tears. The app, the filter is changing the way that they appear to us. But the truth is that we are appearing to ourselves. We are the ones that show up inside of our minds and say, hey, right now you're feeling insecure. So I need you to, or no, let me use this example. You're feeling lonely. So I need you to, A, purchase something. How many of you go right to option A? B, religiously scroll. C, what else? I don't know, man. What else do we do for talk to each other and fix the lonely? Oh, go to a bar and sit there till someone talks to us. We have choices. We have choices. You have no one to talk to, go to an AA meeting. Don't have anyone there, don't want to go to the meetings, guess what? This guy went for a ride on his bike. Don't have a bike, guess what? Go for a walk. Don't really like exercising. Walking's not that much exercise, but it works. You know what I mean? It works for our minds. Then we have other input. We literally trick our minds because now our minds aren't on the shit that we had in our heads before. Now we're on the little subversive stuff. That's why it's always good for the sewing circle, because now you're actually sewing and not just in a circle, right? You're not just gossiping about everything, but you're completing the quilt. And a lot of us, we're not completing our quilt. We're only just holding on to patches. We're like, remember this patch? My grandma died. Oh, grab another one just like it. Hurry up. And that's what we're doing. Addicted to these emotions, and no one's saying anything. It's weird because like we've been on the war of drugs, and we think that it's, or I'm under the perception that it's external, right? As long as I don't drink, I'm okay. But that's just part of it. The drinking was just the camouflage for the actual emotion. It leaves you open and fragile. That's one of the hard parts of AA or NA or any kind of change, that you're going to be exposed. Now you got to actually heal the broken joint instead of swallowing copious oil and pretending that it's healed. There's no pills for healing. You want the heal over the pill. And the pill is always like this. It's that external thing. It's that fake magic. It's the sleight of hand. It's not telling us the truth. Right? Energy doesn't lie. Your emotions might lie to you because it is paired with old emotions or old memories, and we repress them and we memorize them and we process them in a certain way in our brains. We have taught ourselves that this is the way that this is, and it's the way that it's going to be. Instead of looking for alternative ways and staying creative and go, okay, this isn't working for me. We're under the ether. It's so easy to be addicted. It's so easy to be addicted to coffee. You're not hurting nobody. You just want a little peace in the morning. I just want a little sippy sip. Everything about it triggers me. The smell, the taste, the emotions. I am addicted. It's smooth as a heroin needle in my arm. And you're like, holy shit, that is what I'm doing. I do things really smooth. It's as subtle as reaching my hand down at the bright section and grabbing a candy bar, isn't it? It's about as easy as high-fiving my friend and throwing a beer in his hand at the same time. Welcome to the club. And that's what we do. We get in it, so subversive shit. And then you ask yourself, you can sit there and hold the beer and say, do I deserve this? And you probably say yes real quick. If you've been drinking and you've always been drinking, your brain will send you all the signals to make you say, that chocolate bar is mine. I'm butt naked right now. What do you mean butt naked? Say, yes, sex is an addiction too. How did you end up having sex so much? And you're like, well, I didn't feel loved as a child, and now my insecurities came out, so now I'm overly humping you. You're like, oh shit, no shit, no fucking shit. And that's us having no shit moments with ourselves, some aha moments, some real estate inside of ourselves, instead of fake rent and monthly dues and days go by. You're like, every day's been a blessing. Every day you've been on the sauce, and the way that you process your emotions and act towards others, it's going to be the way you're going to act towards others. And we didn't even eye it like that. Again, it's just a candy bar. Dude, it's 13,000 candy bars, bro. How many candy bars have you eaten in your life? I don't know, but the Mars company can tell us, because they have to have quarterly profits. How many did you sell? They'll tell you, billions of them. Billions of soda cans of Coca-Cola. Like, is it healthy for you? You think you're the only one drinking it? You're the only one satisfied? You're the only one that likes cravings and fast foods and all that? That's just all you by yourself? No, it's the Yum Yum brands, the corporations, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, you name it, McDonald's. They out there feeding us inferior food at inferior prices, and then even the prices aren't that inferior. It's not even that cheap anymore. So we go, what are we really doing? What are we really doing? And that's what I had to ask myself. I got down to the nitty gritty and I started asking myself certain questions like, what am I really doing? Am I licking my wounds in disgrace, grief, shame, those beliefs? Is that what I do? Is that what I do, is sit still and get alone and try to heal myself that way? It's a true question, true statement, true assessment of what's going on. And that's what I'm asking people, is to assess themselves truthfully and go, what emotions got me to my decisions? And what if I didn't use emotions as a decision maker? What would my life be like if I didn't find myself so overwhelmed with emotional overbearing, overthinking. And that's all of us. Guilty as charged. Overthinking is the number one thing everybody does. And then we choose the news cycle in our head. We go inside of our head, said, let's do this subject, let's do this subject, let's do this subject. And, you know, we choose the subject. We're going to Blockbuster. We're going to Redbox. We are literally choosing the things we want to play in our minds, the cinema of our minds. And sure, you can see the 50,000 characters of Johnny Depp, but those are all different emotions. And we choose the emotions that we want. We'll go over there and go, you know, I need a Oompa Loompa emotion. Or I need a, what's the other thing called? When you do Willy Wonka emotions. Grandiose emotions. And let's do this. I already have a pre-rolled blunt ready to go. Tyson wraps. It's all in instruction right here. Moving all the stuff out to move it back in, consolidate, sleep, and travel. And that's the new one, is the travel. My buddy's in Egypt right now. I'm jonesing. Another buddy's always wanted to go. And Lord knows, I've always wanted to climb the small pyramids. So, you know, it's one of those. Charger. Okay. So I got the other phone. Can't leave it alone. We're gonna let callers get in. Let some callers get in. Whew. Oh man, what a life. Whew. What a life. Busy, exercising, thinking, sharing, knowledge. So important. The way that our brains work, we just don't talk to ourselves, or we don't know how we're talking to ourselves. That's what ends up happening. We just don't know. Oh yeah. Oh, I feel so good. Addicted to that feeling after a hot walk and putting cold water on my head. That's a feeling. That's a sensation. And if we're all being honest, we're addicted to these sensations. It's the way we make us feel. And that's what we want. We want external things to show up and make us feel. Why don't you make me feel loved? It's like, why don't you love yourself? Why is everything so external? It's everything that we want. It's on the other side of fear. It's inside of us. There's no external I can give you to give you your goals in life and your confidence and ability to tell yourself what's what. And I think that's what we end up seeing. Instead of judging drug addicts, what we end up seeing is people with low low self-control. Also that with fat people. We see them and we're like, these guys got low self-control. They haven't had any way. You even go over there to help them, they're going to find a way to fuck it up. And how many of us say that? How many of us know that's true to even ourselves? Don't leave me around any cookies because they ain't going to be there when you come back. Let's bless up, shall we? Let's bless up, shall we? Let's bless up, shall we? I want you to bless up with me and hold tight and sing to yourself and go. Create the stage in your mind. It's not a stage where there are people in front of you. There are no people in the seats. It's kind of almost all black. In fact, almost the seats disappear. Standing room only, but no one's standing. Just you. On a stage of your life, on the stage of your consciousness. In our minds, we can have the conversation and look around, much like an avatar inside a metaverse, and start looking around inside these rooms, inside of our minds, and open them. There's a really cool book when we were kids called, what was it? The Indian in the Cabinet. Anybody? And this Indian would come alive in this kid's world. And as soon as he put him in the cabinet, of course, there's going to be catastrophe at the end. And of course, I didn't really read it, but I know of this story. And I'm just saying, that's us. That's little us running through our brain inside many different rooms inside of ourselves and having conversations with ourselves. And we do that way too often. So now it's just self-talk. There's no outer talk. There's no outer influence. It all comes from social media. So then that's self-digested instead of choosing what we want to think about. I can tell you the power of your mind by telling me what you want to think about. Not just subject change, not just parlay or what's the other thing called transitions. I'm not looking for any of those kind of things. What I'm really talking about, and they can do that in talk shows. A lot of your boys, what's his name, Conan, will go. That's a smooth. What are the words? Bless up. I'll think of the word. It's not transition, but it's something similar to that. It's a talk show talk where you segue. There it is. When you segue from one subject to another, sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's incoherent. And you can tell the strength of your brain by how smooth those conversations or feelings are happening. Are you smooth shifting to the next emotion? Or are you just radical about it and that's your buzz? It makes you, only time you feel alive is when you're giving somebody a piece of your mind. Other than that, sedentary, sitting there on your phone, waiting for the lottery to hit, and you can spike. That's the emotion I've been waiting for. I've been holding back this whole time. Yes, I finally won. And even then, it's not enough. I mean, it never equals out. Like the amount of days you spent stressing about the bills till the time you actually paid the bill is usually not equal. The amount of stress and cortisol measured in our bodies now is not equal to the amount of satisfaction and reprieve and relaxation we're supposed to have. We're far too tense. Ask my heart, ask the heart disease. And when we get intense, we buzz ourselves. I'm buzzing off of it. I was under the ether. I couldn't be stopped. Nothing can stop me. And now I'm on like beast mode and thinking I'm in the NFL running over some of my players, running up the back of their legs with my cleats just to get a touchdown. Now in the NFL, that's what everybody wants. But I mean, damn, do you got to run over your own players for that? You got to run over yourself? Do you have to totally numb yourself out to any kind of external blows so you feel powerful so you can get the touchdown? Yeah, I've been in beast mode. And it didn't really work out for me. Oh, there's a hole here. That's why it's not hidden. You rocking around, that's G shit. Toad wrap. Right there is the brownwood. Everybody knows what time it is. It's the toad from Tyson. Smoking these all organic wraps, no tobacco. That's the suggestion point right there, is to start with one thing that you think is out of your control and start controlling it. And most people are like, you're going to make me quit cigarettes. They're already deep breathing. They're already freaking. Their whole system's sending them all sorts of flight, freeze reactions. I'm not saying you do any of that. I'm saying something that's your habit, but you want to watch yourself control it. It is far harder to stop thinking pink elephant than to changing a habit. Thank you, Energy Helicopter, for proving my point. Give me that energy. Give me that energy. Give me that energy. Give me that energy. It used to bug me when they went by because they went by so often and interrupted the show and I had no patience. Now I flipped it to myself and I said, that's the energy moment. That's the universe helping me crescendo the word, and whenever you reach, preach, and teach, you need a crescendo. That's what boom, baby, booms for. It's like, boom, you're alive. You just woke up. Which one of these days hit me? All of them have been hitting you your whole life, and you've been processing a certain way. And that's why we have to have this conversation today, is how am I processing? We got 10 minutes to close out this information, but it was truly remarkable if you can track your ways. You know, before you start conversating with your friends, before you just start showing up at the convenience store, before you start masturbating. You know, you have conversations with yourself and how fantastic of a life you would have. The guy said, you know, the fuck your feelings author, if you had shown up at the right time instead of acted out. That's a supernatural human being. That's some Superman shit right there, and Superwoman shit, is to catch yourself before you get back into the habit, before you start acting out of your limbic system, catching it all before it fires, which is really hard to do because the limbic system's on reaction speed, it's on survival. And if all you ever thought your survival was to act a certain way, that's how you're gonna act. And that's how I acted out. I acted out violently, and I still have it in me where it's like, don't fuck with me, or I'll fucking fuck with you back. Like, I'm so scared that I overreact and do too much. And I can almost hear my aunts in my head right now saying he's doing too much. And in Southern slang, you're doing the most. And instead of doing the most by ourselves in our minds, we end up fucking doing the most to ourselves. We end up doing the most to our situations. We add extra, as we say in the South. Oh, he's being extra. You know, that extra is the extra chemicals that we get jonesed on in our brain. It's the way that we make situations worse. It's the way that we talk people back, and now we're talking sharp. We're talking out the side of our mouths. We're making little remarks, and I think everybody knows what I mean by that. So, in my life, in my world, I've always made decisions so emotionally that it became my only reaction, and people saw me out of control, and I didn't see that. And then later on, they didn't want to fuck with me, and they wanted to call me manic, just like my mother. And I've seen my mother do it. I mean, I can only use my family as case in point, but we've all seen it. I've seen a meme the other day where the lady was like, here's my dad getting mad without really saying a word. And he does. He just kind of puts his fork down and gives her a look and scoffs. And he's so grumpy. You know, you're just grumpy. And I was called grumpy, and I didn't know I was being grumpy. I thought I was tired, you know? There's a lot of words that have the same similar meaning, same guilt, fear. They're correlated, these correlated emotions, that words that we use to describe, like anger can be sadness, and you're like, how is that the same? And it's like, yeah, when you're sad you can come out at angry, you're sad inside, so now all of a sudden it's an outburst, and you're like, oh yeah, I guess that does relate. And it also does make me lonely, and you wouldn't think that angry is lonely, but they're interrelated. How many of the emotions that we touch are in that vein or in that vibe, where you're just like, I'm this type of person. And again, the mood ends up becoming a personality. It's not just for a couple days or a couple hours. That's moody. I'm talking about personality. I'm talking about you literally saying, this is my new reality. I feel such and such a type of way. And that's what's shocking to us. We end up choosing these emotions. We end up choosing our own past in our minds, and we end up choosing our own vibe, whatever sauce we want to be on. We want to be on some angry sauce. I used to say it's like wearing a coat. Man, that's my angry coat. Leave me alone. And you're like, get off me. That's my angry coat. Had my angry coat on way too much, homie. And then it became the only coat I had. And I'm sad about that. Like the sad child. It's like having a coat on a sunny day. It's not necessary. And I kept bringing my rainy coat to sunny days and ruining those days and just being real. And that's my own fault. That's my own self sabotage. That's my own digging my own grave and making my own reality a nightmare. I became a nightmare to people. The Saint, with Saint's brand on my chest right now, I was also a nightmare. I was the addiction part of it. I was the fear part of it. I was the hatred. I was the violence. I was the abuse. I am both. I am both the savior and the what's another word that rhymes with S? Savior and the Satan. Let's do it that way. You know, I am both, and you are too. You are the dichotomy of your life and all the decisions that you've been trying to make and over and over again. Here comes your sum, the level that you feel like you deserve. And unless you want to change something inside yourself to get a different level, this is what it's always going to be. It's always going to be this way. It's always going to be us doing it like this. Unless we decide to change, unless we take action in our lives instead of letting our lives have action over us, we take action. We say, hey, yo, I've been doing this for a hot minute. I want to have different results. I'm okay with the results that I'm getting, but I want new results. I want something else. And that's why we're doing this with the new channel, letting people call in so they can get some healing and see what winning emotions have they chosen in their lives that got them thinking winning thoughts, and start talking to themselves more positive and having positive inner thoughts and inner talks, and start saying to yourself some good shit instead of letting that old record play and say, you did that wrong, regret this, guilty that, reverse, and stay in this emotion, stay in this, under this chemicals, and that's not growth. That's the opposite of growth. That's recession, and we start to go backwards and backpedal and start sliding down the hill into some dark avenues in our brains and souls, and start telling ourselves weird things, not good things, and now we're on the not good sauce, and no amount of friends that we can talk to will cure it. No many times about repeating it will cure it. We're just on the sauce. That's the feeling. We want it. We go right back to it. We'll go, hey, remember that time I felt really embarrassed in high school, said no one ever? Well, that's about the equivalent of this. It's about the equivalent of going back to an old regressed memory that's going on, long gone, but we keep it around. And not just the memory, but it comes with its pal feelings and his cousin emotions. And they both come through, all three of them, at the same time, and then they start running shop in your house, running shop in your mind, and doing twirls in there. It's just going right over and over again, doing the same cycling, like a Ferris wheel, or yeah, or what's the other thing called? Ferris wheel or the merry-go-round? Yeah, that's the Ferris wheel. And when we are on that sauce, it's hard to get off. It's hard to get off these treadmills of our lives. It's possible. We've seen other people do it. What makes them different? I stare at entrepreneurs anymore, and you can't see their minds work different for them. You can't see their minds work for possibility and connection and solutions than sitting there in worry, doubt, and fear. And that's where most people want to rely on, is that I'm going to just sit here and worry about it. And if I put enough energy with my mind, I'll fix the topic. And that's not how topics are fixed. That are not how healthy topics are fixed at all. And we're going to have this conversation this morning. We're going to go deep into it. We're going to get on the Saints Addiction channel. I'm going to let some people call in. We'll plug you guys in. We've been on for an hour here live on YouTube. And I'm going to let some of the friends get in and explain to me what winning emotions did they choose in their lives to get a better reaction. Just to get something better out of their lives, just to change the whole motherfucking outcome and the way that they feel. And that's what I'm gonna say right now. Let me get a change of feel. That sensation and this one. Oh yes. Oh yes. It's about that time. I got a minute to go, so let's get it. If you would like to add to the show, it's Saints Addiction on Instagram. You would get the morning marijuana motivation every morning. You just get to sign in, and here I go. Saints Addiction right here. I'll show you all these pop-ups. Go. All these pop-ups right here. I'm gonna go live. We're almost to 3,000 followers, 873, so 2,873. So if you get a chance, get the follow, log in. It's been an hour on the phone, but now we're gonna go live again, and let's get it how we live. Let's get it. Let me get this show started. You're going live with me. You're going live with me, and boom, baby. Let me give them some of that boom, baby. Boom, baby. Boom. Rise. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. Your host with the mostest, Marquis Saint. And every morning I get up and I'm blessed to be alive. And so are you. This morning we're going to go live. You're going live already. Been live for an hour on the show. And we're talking about winning emotion and what emotions we have chosen in our lives to become winners when we decide to stop being emotional over and start to override our emotions and actually take our thoughts to another level and say, those are emotions, those are memories, that's the past, that's over with, and now I want to feel and think, I want to think another way so I can feel another way. See, I'm already addicted to my feelings. Let's talk about it, shall we? Bless up, it's your morning motivation time, and we're going to get into this. Get an hour, 2 hours of my time every morning for the next week till we get the podcast going. And we're going to start a show about some deep subjects, some of that deep energy, some of that rumbling inside of us, and how having conversations with the rumble. You know, why are we rumbling inside? And we won't have to rumble anymore. We won't have to shake. I call it grrr. You know, everybody's grrring at each other, and it's not at each other. It's something else. It's not us. It's something else. It's something external, and it's usually something that we trick ourselves up. We go into it. We think to put some energy into it is going to fix it, and then we actually let it live here. We let it live in our brains. We let it live in our house and in our memories with emotions. And as soon as we open that door, flood of that comes out, and that's why a lot of people are keeping that shut. A lot of people are keeping that closet shut. This is not that kind of show. We're not going and digging into my closet in the morning. We're not clearing out the closet. Shout out to Mike Tyson and the Toad Wraps. All organic, no tobacco. We're not talking about shadow work here. I'm talking about light work and the amount of time that light travels, light speed of speaking. As soon as I say it's already going in your ear, it's that fast. And to process it before it gets processed into your brain, it's almost impossible. Again, this limbic system, our limbic system is so reptilian, it's going to have us snap into a reality or making up a reality before we even know it, jumping away from the alligator. But there's another alligator in our mind that likes to snap. It'll snap things. You'll get frustrated, you'll get emotional. The feeling of it, we've all felt frustrated, but the coping mechanism kicks in. Hey, we don't want to feel frustrated anymore. Shut that closet up. Go grab a Snickers bar. That's what they tell us in the commercials. Stop acting like Aretha Franklin. Stop being grumpy. Go grab a Snickers bar. It's going to fix your world. All that sugar, 250 plus calories in one little bar, 4 little bites, 4 bites if you're me, 2 bites if you're me, 4 bites for most folks, 5 and 6 if you're reasonable. It's gone. And maybe you need another. And just like that, you're letting the external chase begin of it's outside of me. It's in my cocaine. It's in my chocolate. It's in my sex. It's somewhere outside of me. And that's where we end up going. We go outside of ourselves because now we let the emotion run wild. Chemicals are popping in our brain. We're feeling a certain type of way. And then it's all about feels. All up in our feels. For too long do we stay inside of our feelings. We just absorb it and live it and relive it. And that's called cycling. And that's when I was just like, man, how do I stop cycling? How do I stop feeling the same damn emotion at me? It feels the same. I gotta let you know how it feels. Let me bring it up. Let me bring it up. Let me be an AA and NA, and everybody knows, and it's not enough. Just like Fight Club, it wasn't enough. He kept going to the cancer events, and then he wanted a hug from a fat guy with tits. It's like, it's not enough. It's inside of us. And if we keep talking to ourselves a certain type of way, then that's exactly what we're going to get. A certain type of way. If you want to feel a certain type of way, that's the way you're going to feel. You're going to get that emotions. You're going to get those reactions. You're going to be on that sauce. It's almost like choosing barbecue sauce. It's like, damn, it's all barbecue. I don't think you put barbecue sauce on like, I was about to say sushi. That might be good, but you wouldn't put barbecue sauce on, say, boba. You wouldn't put barbecue sauce inside of a boba drink. You're like, that doesn't belong there. But that's what we do inside of our brains. We bring up emotions that don't belong there. We want to, it's just a thought, but it's not just a thought. It's such a powerful thought. It's so powerful that it took away the power from the other thought and started sending emotions, raw not minerals, but raw chemicals into our brain to help us feel that certain way in that certain area of our brain. It literally, they're linked. I can't remember the other one, but the other one's the hippocampus, and then the other one goes to your thalamus. Anyway, one's the memory and one's the emotion, and they work so well together. It's everyone's brain. This is science, and you can look it up or watch the video that I put below. But um, the science of our brains working against us is shocking. You go, well, I thought it was just always, it's the way it is. That's the way it is. So it is what it is. How many people say it like that? It is what it is. I just left it there. And I didn't put any more energy or thought into it to change the energy or change the emotion. I just let the emotions ride. And that's us just riding on a night like this, having it like this, going with the music loud. It's the only way we can feel. So I got my buzz, my beer buzz, my blunt buzz. I got my car, I got my tunes. I feel a certain type of way. I can feel the air on my skin, and now I feel good. I'm not at work. I'm not at home. I'm in a mood. I'm in a moment, and I'm going to kind of feel this certain way to override all these other feelings. That's what we're all chasing. We're chasing moments. Instead of living in the moment, we're chasing another moment. We've been suffering the whole time, treating ourselves to bad events and a whole buffet of bad events, bad memories, and horrible emotions, a whole cocktail of it. And we're on the cocktail. This is the only way we can feel. And if I haven't described about 80 or 90% of all the human beings that I know, you're lying. And I don't lie. And we're not going to lie. We're not ever going to lie. And the only way I could overcome the addictions was by not lying to myself and saying, okay, these things are starting to take control. And not just these things. It's not the drugs. We like to blame the drugs. It's the emotions. It's the emotions that are making you feel empty. If you start getting raggedy, next thing you know, you start popping a Valium. And if the Valium's your stick, then you're going to be addicted like most of the women in the 60s. There is no cure-all pen or pill. Everything that we do has a reaction. And most important, instead of action, then reaction, he said something to me that was profound. He said, instead of action, then reaction, he said something, action to, it's not reaction, it's to react, to be, have some kind of come back to action, to take action in our minds instead of reacting from a limbic system. You are having a reaction, so you can have a new action to react to. And it was tough for me to explain. Those are tough subjects. I mean, fuck, man, this guy was saying it, and maybe I'm saying it wrong. But it turned out to me that it wasn't just my reaction. That was my monkey mind, my little lizard brain reacting and just being emotional. And I feel a certain type of way. Yeah, we've been there. This was a new action. Something where I decided not to play a part in the argument anymore. I stopped acting myself. I chose a different personality. The guy that I'm used to showing up and all my loved ones are used to showing up, I think they're going to be shocked that he's not there. I think they're going to be like, holy fuck, where did he go and how did he do it? How did he not react the same way again? That's the challenge. To not do the same shit you did yesterday. And how many of us just hold tight to the same patterns? We can keep a clock to you. We know when you're going to go get your coffee. We know when you're going to go get your lunch. We know when you're going to take a shit. Are you predictable? Is that what you've done? You've made your life predictable. You wanted it to be exactly the way you wanted it to be. So therefore you were never surprised, never scared, and never out of sorts, right? Like that's just it. You've learned to stay in your cage. And that's what we do. We stay in our cage like a good little dog, and we don't ever challenge authority. I'm not telling you to bite the hand that feeds you. What I am saying is to get out of your cage. It's one of the biggest moments of that movie. But when you do the ape movie, the Planet of the Apes, he got the gorilla out. It was the biggest one, and he was the scariest one, and he was shaking everything, but he was scared to leave his cage. The biggest, strongest monkey of them all was scared to leave their own cage, frightened, in fact, like, I can't just, like, it was plastic. It was the plastic. What's up, Westside? Thanks for dropping in. 702, baby. That's what's up. We got an LVOG in the house at the Las Vegas Original. If you get a chance, I have Las Vegas Original and the Las Vegas Original LVOG. All right, anyway. But that's what we do. We scare ourselves from our habits. Well, we're scared of what our new reaction will be. So we go back to the old. We'll scurry back to our cage. This is safe. I know this. God forbid I challenge it. Challenge the yard, pee in a different spot, eat at a different place, eat at a different time, eat something different. Just that's life, man. Like, it's to be explored and to be challenged and something to be different from it every day. But what do? We go back to our habits. We go right back to the same addictions and say, thanks for keeping me comfortable. I know you're no good for me, but thanks, sugar. Thanks for eating out my teeth while I sleep. What? Yeah, eating your teeth. Same with the cigarettes, eating your teeth. Same with the food. It's eating us away on the insides. And now we know why we're not happy inside. It's like, because we're not thinking happy. We only digest bad food and bad memories. And we're on a healthy diet of the negative. And that's where it happens. Just like that. It goes right to the gut. And that's overweight, emotional eating. My friend was talking about it's real. It's the only way we can get our brains to fire for us, and the only way we do it to ourselves. Again, no self-control. So instead of our minds telling us what to do, we let our emotions tell us what to do, and then it begins the whole cycle again. His mom was an overeater, and she just passed away, and she just died probably from some kind of heart disease, and now he's overeating because his mom died. Now his mom died. Like, everybody can say, well, his mother died. He should be emotional. That's just part of it. And I'm saying it's part of it for all of us. We are all going to have to get under the delusion that we're not all going to live forever. Called my friend the other day. She's in the hospital again, the cancer. I think it's his wife. And he goes, I don't want to mess up the story, but I said, every time I hear somebody say something about death, it makes me want to live. It's the same knock that's coming for us all and saying, are you living? Because if you're not, I'm coming. I'm coming, motherfucker. I got a news for you. You ain't shit, and one day your ass is mine. Signed, Mr. Death himself. Blink right on your door. You would be like, you would. I would. Take the breath right out of your lung. You're like, oh no, not another breath. I've been expecting to have another breath. I was expecting another day, and if I had another day, I would do the exact same fucking thing you're doing every day. Mr. Death, if you gave me another week, would I live differently? Why am I not living differently now? Well, because I've learned that I can be touched by pain. I can be touched by hurt. I can be unloved. But wouldn't you much rather live? Mr. Death says to me. Wouldn't you much rather have another meal, make love again, go somewhere with your bad self? Apparently, my Mr. Death is like a pimp from the hood. Anyway, he's kind of matter of fact about that life, but here we go. With that being said, that you know that you're not going to live forever. Even me, when I start getting to show people will cry, hopefully, like they cried for Calvin Samuels, that I left a legacy of something that reached people, preached to people, and teach people something about themselves and the world. And that's all it is. I was like, man, I'm traveling the world. This is super dope. I could go on my show and just say, hey, I'm on my canoe in Thailand. You can too. Buy this course. I set it up for you. Link in the bio. Nope. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with my six-pack abs on the beach in Koh Chang in Thailand and walk around. And I came off my mom's couch, which you guys just saw, and started my business making millions. That still doesn't do the work for you. Only you can do the work for you. I need to do that kind of commercial where it starts off kind of campy. Maybe people switch off. That's a bad. I'm gonna do my marketing. I'm already second guessing myself, but something to the not plagiarism, but a what's that called when you take the piss? Not an allegory. What is that called? Not plagiarism. Damn it, Mark, you're getting high. When you do something like a political stunt, like an SNL stunt, and you do it and you do a spin on it. Plagiarism. Parody. Stoner. Parody, right? Like that's how my brain works. You start smoking weed, it won't have a conversation with itself. It starts fucking with my memory. It's the same fucking limbic system that's in your brain with the memory. And instead of it, now I'm like, can't get my memory to work. It's the same shit that does with our minds, where all of a sudden we picked an emotional setting and we're sticking there. We're holding tight to this one emotion because it's given us the juice. Is the juice worth the squeeze? It's the only question you ever got to ask yourself in your life, is what you're doing, the amount of effort and time that you're putting into it, worth the squeeze, the money and the emotions you're getting from it. If that isn't equal, you're not living your life right. And I was just shocked at that. You know, you want to know what success is? Your boy Marky Saint has success on his bracelet. Do you know what success is? The definition of success? It's waking up happy. Thank you, Gary Vee. It's waking up happy. It's not waking up in competition. That's going to give you a feeling of lack. I've been guilty of it. I've been addicted to competition. I felt that it gave me a buzz to beat someone, look down on them and go, I beat you. I knocked you out. That's my buzz. That I get a buzz off of being a tow truck driver and stealing someone's car. That's your buzz. That's your job. That's what you do for a living. Like you steal, basically. You legal steal. You know, like I couldn't look myself in the eye in the morning and say I'm a happy individual by being a tow truck driver. No. Same with a police officer. Same with an ambulance. My buddy told me. They have meetings after tough cases in ambulances to check if they're all right. Do you need to go home? Let's all talk about it. They're very aware of it. They were aware that their peers were starting to drop dead around them. Thank you, energy. That literally, because of tougher cases, it made people react tougher. We're human. And you saw something grotesque. You're an ambulance driver. Everyone's dead. All the emotions are high. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that 15-car pileup. Do you need 15 days off? Of course you would. But us, in reality, right, depending on how we feel, will be our decision to that. Some of the guys are like, no, I need to be around my comrades. It makes me feel better. I don't want to bring this home to my children. Thank you for that energy. Oh no, oh no. I don't want to share it. And that's how raw we treat our emotions. We think that they're locked up. We think we can put them in a dog kennel and they're just going to act right because we feed them and we tell them what to do. And unrepressed memories, these dogs get out of the kennel, they will. And they will act like a dog that's been in a kennel, they will. And just like that, our emotions take us to places we don't even know. And instead of taking control of them and putting power into our next decision and our thoughts and say, damn it, mind, you get in that kennel. Put your mind in a kennel. Tell it to sit still. Tell it, I feed you. I feed you. I'm going to tell you what to do today. And today we're going to do XYZ. We got hot topics to fix. We're going to take control of certain things. Certain things are going to be hot topics. Just like the Navy SEAL was saying. You know, he has a, what did he call it? Oh, man, here we go. Smoking again. He called it something that needs to get done for the day. And to prove to himself that he can get it done too. That he can tell his mind, and his mind tells his body, and his body becomes action, and that becomes the new soul. That becomes his mind, body, soul, and get it that way. And how much power that they had goes into new powerful things and powerful thoughts that they want to generate instead of sad emotions. Instead of playing the same fucking CD every time in the morning, you're fucking like a sad emo bitch listening to Sade all the morning long. You know, Sade was on heroin. She was a sad person too. It's like, God damn, man, you might as well put the needle in your arm. We do that. We put the needles in our arms. The emotions do it, not the drugs. That's a lie. You're not seeing alcohol, right? You're seeing dopamine, fake dopamine, synthetic dopamine. Let's call it what it is. And more importantly, what we name it or how we associate it is this right here is it's not just alcohol and it's not just dopamine. It's my excuse for bad habits, right? This is my lack of fatherly love, or this is my lonely. This is who I'm dating now, Mary Jane and whatever, you know, like we end up dating our drugs, we end up dating our habits, we end up dating our pets and our parents. Like we're a little too close to the action. And sure, it feels normal. You know, these are parents, right? You know, get from under their wing, get from under their influence, get free. You know, what's up? Where's stay? Where stay? What's up? Thanks for joining. We have a chance to take those opportunities into our brains, but we're really back to our emotional shit. We're back to the same shit every fucking time. And that's what ends up happening. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys today, was the ability to choose new emotions. Emotions that have actions instead of reactions, that take action and say, I am now thinking this so I get this outcome. I want this outcome. I want to survive. I want to thrive over survive. I no longer want to live in lack. Those thoughts that were all worried about the bills, I do not give them any more credence anymore. They don't get any more section in my, but wait, there's more. And you're like, no more of that. I'm anxious. My bills are due. Scratch. I'm gonna trip out till they get paid. That's not gonna help. Worrying isn't gonna change the outcome. And that is more powerful today than ever before from my spiritual mentor. But the worry isn't going to change your outcome. I mean, it might have get you initiated, but you don't need to action yourself that way. We don't have to be DJ Diego. What's up, brother? We don't have to be that way. Honestly, we don't have to be motivated that way. We don't have to be motivated by fear. We don't have to be motivated by pain. We don't have to be motivated that way, where we have to trick ourselves into some kind of fight, flight, or freeze mechanism. We can choose our own action, our own inner spirit, and that willpower that's inside of us. I have a shirt that says willpower, by the way. We're about to make a bunch of new shirts, but that willpower to say, I'm in charge here, not in charge of you, in charge of me. I'm in charge here. I'm in charge here. And in charge here, and in charge here, and in charge down there. I'm in charge. I am in charge of all my faculties and reactions, my spirit, my thoughts, and my emotions. Thank you, Bird. That's a dope sentence right there. I felt the power in it. The bird felt the power in it. We all feel the power in it. Door slamming, things rising. This is what I'm at right now. I'm at this section in my life where I've saw me rev me up, and I only rev myself up. What's up, Mr. Filio? Thanks for watching, brother. I only rev myself up because I'm emotional, and the moment I get some emotional regulation, or actually just not regulate it, but not be emotional, knowing that these are chemicals in my brain, much like I'm under the influence of alcohol, and as soon as it takes influence or takes hold of me, then I'm stuck making the way I'm making myself feel a certain type of way. Just like we say in the streets, you know, in the South, you know, you feel some type of way. Yeah, I chose this. I chose this shirt this morning. I chose to wear my bandana. I chose to go for a walk. I chose to drink water. And I also chose my emotions. And I am really having a tough time is the switch of it. How do I switch this thing? If it's so easy Why isn't everyone doing it? Why can't we unlock ourselves and just say, I choose better? And you say, of course you want to choose better. But did all your choices choose better for you? Did you pull the LL Cool J promise and say that you're going to always do your best every day, no matter what? It's the biggest promise. I mean, if you're a billionaire, you can do the giving pledge, but the doing the best pledge, I call it the ghost, the greatest humans of all time, to be competitive, to be a great human, to be somebody that does better by some people instead of always digging people down or talking shit or pulling people down. Wait, live paused, hold up. There we go, we're live again. To be part of the solution. You know, so many people are so detrimental to themselves. They feel a certain type of way, so they want other people to feel a certain type of way. You know the people I'm talking about. Those are hurt people. They are hurt, so they're hurting, and they try to hurt other people. They try to hurt other people's growth. They try to hurt their own knowledge. They are hurting themselves, and I wanted to stop hurting personally. Like the suffering of it and the ignorance of it, you know, just the pure ignorance of it. You could say you're ignorant, right? But and ignorance is bliss. But being self-aware, you know, then you're in control. Then you're not under the influence of the day and every day being the same. And then you can actually choose something differently. That's the choice. That's this power of choice that we don't even know that how powerful we are, that we're choosing our emotions, we're choosing our patterns, we're choosing to be a certain type of way. And we don't have to be that way. I've said that too in the South. Don't be that way. Don't be that way. Don't act that way. I'm pointing my finger because now I have to be authoritative and I have to tell my little monkey brain in that little cage that I created for myself, this cage of mine, trapped by emotional turmoil and victimizing. That's another one. As long as I take the victim role, I can feel this way. You know, I'm the victim. I didn't take enough accountability to take myself out of the victim role. I rather play dumb and play victim and say I did it myself. This is me. It's all me. No. I could do that for accountability, or I could do the other way where it's like it's all them. They did this to me. You're the one that triggered me. And how many times have I said that sentence? And how many times have you said that sentence? I'll wait. You're the one that's in control. You're the one that makes the choices. You're choosing your emotions, you're choosing your life, you're choosing how to spend your time. And that's what I'm talking about. Is money slavery? Yes, I have a slavery shirt. Money is keeping people doing things they wouldn't normally do. And I know it's also made me emotional. You can't give an emotional person money. You know, they'll literally spend it all trying to think that, just like time, that it's always promised, another round's going to come, and that external things are going to fix my topic. No one's doing the hard work. No one's doing the mind push ups to say, I think this way, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I do. Thanks for the thumbs up and watching. Have you ever done that before? Where you just started thinking and it started to generate not only the opposite of what you want, which is the cortisol and the negativity. That's how powerful our thoughts are. Start bringing up the oldies, or the new generation of creation. That literally our brains are right here, right now, generating something new for you that's not on your old music. I mean, it's almost like the new list of the Apple iTunes. You just said, I want new music. Alexa, play something new besides for the stupid old shit that I've been playing in my head. Thanks, management. Literally, we scream at this bitch. Call her a bitch because she got no feelings, right? It was not that we hurt someone else's feelings, but it's the way we talk to ourselves. As long as no one's watching, what are you saying? Are you saying shit to Alexa? Are you saying shit to yourself? They say that stuff rude as fuck because they got no consequences. There's no consequences for it, bro. There's nothing that you're not seeing the consequences for your emotions.
We always said we're for our actions. We didn't ever take action on our emotions. We didn't think that we were in control of them. We're supposed to be in control, but we don't know how to take control of ourselves. We don't even do it right with the police department. They just tackle motherfuckers. They just grab them and put them down. It's the worst day of their lives, and they're under a mental disorder. Their order in their mind is in disarray. And instead of coping, helping, de escalating, and getting them to a proper place in their minds, what do? They escalate, they harm, they attack, they control. And I did that, and unfortunately, it didn't work. It always backfires. And for some reason, that's us. We're going to over dominate mental instability. It's a bad combination. My new thinking, clearer thinking, educated thinking, now that I learned it, is to not even have to be overbearing or get in that zone, right? There needs to be two sets of police, the hands off and the hands on. And one's armed and one's not. And we don't need the armed ones for the hands on moments, you know? They get shoot people, right? When they're angry running. Those people probably shouldn't be shot. There was a woman the other day that she had a mental disorder going on and they shot her. That could happen to my mom. If she's in a moment, that would be so fucked up. And it happens all the time. They shoot people's dogs and shit, you know? You shouldn't even have been there, you know? Like, we needed kinder, gentler ways. Um, it'd be dope if kind is the new cool, but we just only want to be cool. Like, we want to show how happy we are instead of just wake up happy and being happy and actually having enough happy to go around. Like, here you go. Yeah, I'm happy. You're happy. I'm not keeping it to myself. You can be happy too. You know, what a blessing that would be. You know, like, oh, fuck yeah, man. Thanks for sharing the happy today. Share the happy. That would be a good shirt too. See, I'm a shirt addict. So, anybody else is a shirt addict at Saints Brand? This is my Saints Brand shirt. Um, Getting on both cameras. Saints Brand's where it's at. Let me show it off. Gotta show off the shirt. Gotta show off the shine. Saints Brand. The Saints Brand. UNLVOG. It's my college alma mater. This is Las Vegas. It's a hot weather. I'm calling around the world. We're gonna start doing a worldwide channel. It's not a joke. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. As my friend was saying, Brazil. This is not a joke. Uh, this is no joke. This is a worldwide news channel we've been thinking about doing. And anybody who really wants to get involved or wants to know more about it, I got my friends in New Zealand. Helped me edit and produce. Shout out to Benny Mack. He has his own channel too. We're collabing on this because there's more people around the world. There's more than just us. There's more than just us. There's other perspectives. I say this because NATO just got two new people, Sweden and Finland. And I used to live in Finland, and I have a lot of Finland family. And I asked them directly, like I normally do, like when there's riots in Turkey and something's happening in Finland, how do you feel about joining NATO? Welcome to NATO, you know? And mixed reactions. This isn't a political show, but that other show will be. That other show will have plenty of reactions and people being able to pipe in and say what they need to say so we can get it from each other's mouths instead of from weird news and that filter. There's a weird social media filter now that telling you what to think and force feeding us in our feed certain points of view, spinning it. And instead of having political spin, we're just going to be honest for the win. So it's going to be fun. And that's what we're doing. We're having fun again, you know, allowing the self to have fun and be creative and lose time instead of clocking time or clocking out of time, instead of giving it away. We're doing something creatively with it, generating new vibes, moving. Motion creates emotion. And that's the new one. It's like, I don't want to have just emotion. I want to have motion. I want to have the willpower and the decision to say, you're my brain. I want to tell you what to do. You're going to put that cookie down. You're like, who the fuck told me that? No one ever tells me what to do. I just did. I just told you to put the cookie down. You're like, the fuck is that? Not me, Mark Saint, not Saints brand dude, not the dude with the beards on shirts. Your psyche just told yourself to put the cookie down, to go for a walk. Little decisions, go brush your teeth, same shit, and taking a towel, shitting even, are all decisions. And we give it no credence to how many other decisions are in it. I'm hungry. What do you need to go eat? Well, who are you going to eat with? What are you going to eat? Did you put any more thought into it past the emotion? And if you can get more thought past emotion, then you win. Straight up. If you put more thought with emotion, then you win. You become intelligent. You don't need to bar down your friends anymore with your emotional babble, looking for co-patriots to co-sign your shit, your emotions. That's what we do. We find friends, lovers, family members, people that only back us on shit that we need backing on. The way that we act. We only find the right family member goes, that's right, you should have smacked them. You should have Will Smith them. And everybody will be on one side or the other. Instead of, why did he do it? How did he get so fucking emotional that he walked in front of all his peers, walked up to one of his former friends and boldly slapped him on world news? Why are you that aggressive? This is adorable behavior. Can we talk about it? I don't want to talk about it now. It's been months since. I'm talking about the behavior of it, the emotional outburst. Everybody's shocked, but how many people ever wanted to walk up to their boss and slap them? Is it appropriate? It's not, and we know it, and we know it's out of place to lose our cool and start putting hands on people. I'm guilty too. What was he afraid of to get into fight reaction? What did make him emotionally triggered? That he can't protect his wife? Or that he's losing his wife? He's losing his wife and it making him have an emotional outburst. His biggest fear in life is losing this relationship, and it's happening in front of him, so he acted out. Been there, bro. Been there, bro. It's a bigger statement than I've been there. Oh, I've been to Spain, I've been to Egypt, these things I want to go to. No. I've been there, bro, emotionally. And reacted same. Violently. Fuck. What am I doing? Well, Will Smith gets to go to India. I want to go to Egypt. You get to go somewhere else. Please go somewhere else. Anyone watching this, go away from your mind and get quiet enough to let that bitch know what it's going to eat, where it's going to be, and what it's going to do from here on out. And that's a pimp mindset. To pimp your own butterfly is more than a Kendrick Lamar album. It's a fucking Mac the Knife morality tale of how do we get more moral. They told me principles. What are your principles? Principles are colorblind, and it's non-racist prejudice. It's principles. Like, what kind of principles do you abide by? What do you practice? And do you actually do what you say you're going to do? Do you make your mind move your body, or does your mind move your body? I'm just curious. Do you tell yourself what to do, or are you a follower? Mostly followers. Mostly people scared. Soul Infinite, girl, I saw your moon pictures. Thank you for doing that. Red lunar eclipse. Blessings. We've been going live every morning for 2 hours here live on the YouTube. We've been an hour 38 minutes now, but talking about emotions and how they are a thought, and the thought becomes the behavior, and how powerful that we tend to choose this Rolodex of our minds here. But imagine CDs around your head, and now you're playing your favorite tunes at the bar of your life, the thing that you always go to, the way you always sit, what record you tell them to play, Jimmy, and what drink you always get. Now that's your habit, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about continuous habits, always being our own habitual creatures, keeping ourselves in cages, mental cages, playing the same goddamn emotion to get the same goddamn feeling. And that's what we do. And now we're addicted to feelings. It's an addiction. I talked about it yesterday. You can get the pop up here on YouTube. But man alive, if I didn't find more power in my stuff and going, I'm telling my brain what to do now. And it's so hard to say, hey, you, stop thinking that thought. One creep back in my thought, and I got all emotional, called some friends, and did the whole thing again. Went right back into my cage. I'm talking about limitless behavior. Because, I mean, think about it. If you actually did keep your diet when every time you said you would, think about that. Like, if you didn't give yourself any mental excuses and did what was best for you, would you? You know? And how many of us don't do that? You know, I'm honest about my addictions. Saints addiction all the time. I had so much energy into this stuff. I had to put energy into my business, into my brand, into my logos, into learning how to make logos, into making shirts. I had to be a shirt addict instead of a Coke addict. I had to be addicted to something else. And I've been putting so much energy into chasing pussy and drugs, trying to be happy, and it didn't make me happy. What's going to really make me happy? And the research of the brain to actually be happy. That's really awesome. Like, what was real happiness? And he said it again, what's real success? Now that it's worn off, you know what my real success is? Waking up happy. If I can do that, and if you can too, you're a success. You're already a success. Me, I'm working on success is what happens when you have survived all your disappointments. Energy. Great to catch up with you live, King. Blessings. I'm just a messenger. I am no king. The king was born in a major, surrounded by wild animals, right? You know, like we can come up with an acronym for king, but what I'd really like to rule is myself. I want Thanos fucking gloves of my own mental capacity. Give me that energy. Come on, helicopter. Give me that energy. I want the Thanos fucking glove of self-control. That's what I want. Anybody else? Is it just me? Okay, cool. Because it's not just me. You know, I mean, if I could have only caught myself, oh, could have came up and slapped my own hand away from the ice cream. Like, you know better. I would just look at you like a child, right? Like we act like children. You're taking away my cigarette. How dare you? You know, I am an adult. I'm gonna throw a temper tantrum right now. And you're like, oh my God, I've never seen more temper tantrums than nicotine fits. Tell me I'm lying. If I'm lying, go to Saints Addiction and purchase a shirt so you won't be a liar too. I told the truth about my addictions. I was like, you can't have a brand with addiction in the name. I'm not going to invest in that. And I was like, you'll see. Everyone has an addiction. It's like, you reach everybody. Everyone is addicted to something. Let's piss test the politicians. Nobody? Just me? Okay. And that's how it goes. Right. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. This is my church. This is my chapel. This is pastor. I've done it at the Cannabis Chapel. We're going to try to resurrect it somehow. But not just Sundays, but every day, talking about mental health and this climate of needing it. And then everybody was, I could have called it Saints Health. You would have never clicked on it anyway. But Saints Addiction is like Jane's addiction. It's like, what happened? What happened to the saint? Where did he get the addiction? What is Saints addiction? Like, you have to ask yourself, what is Saints addiction? You know, I can tell you my own saintly stuff, my own devilish stuff, and I can also admire the dichotomy in both. You know, I see with both lenses, left and right. It's not like I live in a world that I walk into a box, say my confessional, and things disappear. No, ma'am. I was Catholic, but I'm telling you, I don't live that way. I wanted to know the truth of what made my brain do what it did and have an honest response to myself so that I can get some honest closure and accountability. And if I wasn't sober to this day, I probably wouldn't even be getting it. I'd probably still be abusing women, abusing alcohol, my male toxicity just dripping over everybody because I'm egotistical. And then didn't even know that my narcissistic tendencies took away my ability to have empathy. Like, who does that? You always are like, there's pits of bodies, war torn areas, pits of bodies. How many motherfuckers get killed? And you're like, because people sit around and watch that shit. They feel that punishment is the solution. We're still stuck on old behavior. We're still stuck on thinking that, well, if they learn by pain, then they learned. And I'm on some, get aware of how you learn. Get aware of how your brain works. Know the different areas and what they do. Know the different chemicals and the hormones and what they do. Study the brain. I want everybody to study not only their brain, but the brain. Like, you can train your brain. I keep pointing my finger like a dog, and I don't know why. Maybe I'm training myself, but something to that effect where you have discipline. You're not under your emotions anymore. You're not gonna just run around. Let me go run do this. Let me go run do that. Let me go have that thought. Let me go to that thought. Let me go. Let me go. You're letting yourself go. You're letting your concentration go, and literally, attention, is paid. That's how they get paid on social media. That's how I'm getting paid now. If you pay attention to me, they start putting ads on my shit. Right now, it just has such a small amount of viewers, you're able to get the whole live without interference. Who would have known? But that's what I wanted. I wanted to get the message out. It was to reach, preach, and teach, because they ain't going to teach you this in school. They're not going to give you the truth of you need to manage yourself. They'll tell you about money management, but they don't give that course in school either, and sex ed or health, like, again, studying our bodies. I think you all know what a bicep and a tricep is, right? But you know where your hippocampus is in your brain? No? It's kind of somewhere here in the middle. And then back here is your limbic system. That's your little reptile brain that's been teaching you how to run away from things quickly so you can survive. And if we're always using that system, instead of shifting our brains, instead of using something that has more steady and go, hey, before you start go jumping, right? And jumping to conclusions and jumping your emotions because you love that buzz. Again, it's another intoxin, it's the chemicals that we drink in our brain. Whatever this brain is doing, we're telling it to. And we can literally give it new chemicals. We literally go out for a walk and get some, what are those things called again? Endorphins. We're outside for free. And I heard me out on this one. Someone do the research and comment below. But I heard that you get serotonin from melatonin. Anyone want to back me up on this? I just kind of call that Jesus, but that right there I'm taking to the bank. As soon as you go out into the sun, all your melatonin turns into serotonin. Like, the sun makes you happy. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're gonna have to sunbathe, bruh. You're gonna have to get outside. Even on hot days like this, I got my poncho with me and just do a couple laps. Get out of your zone, get out of your house. They are trying to keep us in our boxes, just like chickens in a coop. And I'm trying to free people. I'm trying to open it up and say, hey, man, we all need this mental health. We all need the stability. We all need to go inside of our brains and choose a better way of thinking. Now, I have 12 minutes left. I want to invite Soul Infinite in here. I'm taking callers. She's never got to get in on live on the show, I think. But if you got a chance, Soul Infinite, do you mind getting in and tell me something that works for for your own mind control? Something that you do, or mantra that you tell yourself and say, yo, I'm gonna take control. I'm gonna take control of my life. I'm gonna take control of my mind. And then you started to actually see you make decisions. She declined. Oh, Soul Infinite, you just busted me open. I have you on my personal page and you just did this to me? No, that's just taking it seriously. You could be driving. But I'm wanting to invite people in on this. These last couple of scopes have been so powerful for me to give like that information, like, holy shit. Okay, so if they're all thoughts, I'm just watching myself sit here thinking and just tracking and I'm watching this. I'm pretty sure yours is pretty fast too. Can't jump on. I just woke up. I understand. I understand. Like I said, no force. And there's no love and force. And I knew that. And I got to practice that too. Anyway, what I wanted to do was invite people in to tell their stories. If you want to just make a quick comment, I'll read it off for you. But no apologies necessary. No, you don't need to apologize to anyone or anything in your life. What you need to do is start apologizing to yourself. Apologizing to yourself for not taking action. Go, yo, I know you've been emotional. I know you've been emotional for decades. And unfortunately, that's the sauce that you're on. It's the way you grew up. It's the way that you learned. It's the way that you process thoughts. And these feelings keep giving you these kind of thoughts. You're literally digesting a certain amount of fats, acids, cholesterol, right? That's topic. Proteins, carbohydrates, right? That's a fact. But thoughts, boom. The feelings connected, the two systems in our brain talking to each other, pairing it together. So I said I kept getting married like the mast of my ship all the way down to the bottom, bro. I get so deep. And I hold my emotions so dear to me that I'll go captain with my ship all the way down. All the way down. That's how I process my emotions. That's what my depression looks like. Knowing damn well I could let go of that and be free. I could float all the way up to the top and get the freshest breath air I've ever had in my life. And I talk about the anchor. Keeping us down. This is a monkey tail. But besides for the anchor, I can let go and get a fresh breath of air. As soon as I get up to the top, I get the freshest breath of air I've ever had in my lungs. I'm not chained anymore. I'm not chained to my emotions. The shit that makes me just like want to cry when I think about certain things. Bam, that book gets put down. Bam, that chapter gets closed. Bam, I am at ease with this new reality. I'm creating a new reality. I'm saying to myself, thoughts are my new reality. If I'm going to start thinking certain things, I'm going to manifest them this way. I'm going to speak it into existence. And I don't just talk about it, I be about it. And some of the things that my brain is telling me to do, I'm actually doing. It's one of the things I used to tell people, but they thought I was joking. But like if I even walked past the weights and they see me, they see me. I see them, they see me. Okay. Or the pull-up bar, I saw you. Like concentrated. Like I'd like to pretend that I walked by and I didn't make eye contact with you. I don't have to curl you right now. I'm gonna have to curl those weights. I'm going to have to go for that walk. I'm going to have to put down that cupcake. I'm going to have to, this is real powerful shit, supernatural shit. But once you start taking control of your feelings, you're going to take control of your world. And there's energy with that. And that's all I wanted to share with people is this stuff I'm learning. If you don't want to learn it from me or you want to learn it deeper, go to the people that I've been reading. Like you get audiobooks too. You got access to YouTube because you're on it now. So you can go to Fuck Your Feelings. No, I didn't say go fuck yourself. I said go fuck your feelings. Just fuck your feelings. And I think he bleeps out the you, but it's a famous book. And he's written by a Navy SEAL. And he talked about the dude putting the boot in the line in the sand. And he's shaking in the river and the ocean. And it's a beautiful day. Everybody else is playing on the beach. And they're out there doing Navy SEAL training. And he shouldn't be having a beer with his friends, right? That's part of your brain, right? This is your part of your brain. This is a beautiful day. Then there's me being disciplined, being a Navy SEAL, doing what I say I'm going to do, putting my mind to something and telling my body what to fucking do. Not my feelings telling me what to do, my mind. Because I don't feel like moving. I feel like shit. That's what I'm explaining his story. But he put that line in the sand and you got to ask yourself, are you willing to cross over and be about your life and not about your feelings? It doesn't matter how I feel. Like you'll say it for your children. I know Soul Infinite, I think you're a mom. It don't matter how I feel. As long as it's for my kids, I'm going to go the extra hours. All of a sudden, I'm working 2 shifts. All of a sudden, I know my mom's done it for me. She's worked really hard. But it's Soul Infinite, if you're still there, chime in below. If it's for your kids, I think you have a kid. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter as much as it takes. all of a sudden you're working second shift at the factory. You know, when it comes to our excuses, I think that's really where Saints Addiction was born. Was it was that kind of excuse? Thank you for the energy. Give me that energy. Give me the jet and the fucking tank. You know, give me that energy and the motorcycle. Yes, that's it. Thank you, universe. How did you know I was trying to make a point? Fucking universe, man. I had to point at the sun. I don't know where else to point, but this fucking powerful universe. We point up, I guess. We point up around here. We rise and shine. But this thing right here was me not having any excuses. You know, you say you want to be an artist or a designer or, you know, make a brand. These things are now my reality. I looked at the wall and I saw something, and now I'm wearing it on my forehead. This is me looking at my excuses. And I had to look at them. I'm like, dude, if it was a hot chick across town, you'd find a way. You would find a way to get on your fucking bike, 113-degree weather. It didn't matter. You'd walk the rest of the way. And then I guess you'd climb the side of the building because, hey, there's pussy up there. And I mean, that's what you really want, right? And I mean, without really educating myself and not knowing that I was really wanting to be loved, we go all in for love. We go all in for our children. We go all in for a lot of things, especially with our emotions. So that's why they like us to gamble. They want you to gamble. They want you to be drunk while you gamble. Around here, they'll take your chips after you threw up on the table. You gotta go, but we keeping these. And that's life. And I've seen it happen many times, and it's sad. But what's really glad over sads, you know, let's talk about the end because we only got about like 4 minutes to close the show here. That's 2 hours now of us being able to comment and go deep inside of ourselves and say, what am I doing with my thoughts? Am I telling my body what to do? Or is my mind, is my feelings telling my mind to tell my body to go get some ice cream? So we're going to end it with a positive note. Not ice cream. It's really hard, but man, fuck. My addictions are like sugar slut, sex slut, fucking, what's the rest of them? Porn slut. What's the other ones that I do religiously? I'm a hike slut. We already talked beard slut. You know, like we have them all. You know, it was a full-on addiction. Like I'm powerless and I'll do sexual favors for it. Anyway, this was that kind of energy. Like I'm gonna put sexual favors on the line for what I want instantaneously. What about what I want longevity? What if I really did want to let go of the anchor? Tell my right now to put anything down. That's how I quit smoking cigarettes, by the way. I want you to get something out of this show always. You know, Periscope with a purpose. You already know, Soul Infinite. And that right there was my control. My ability to start telling myself what's up. And we like to tell everybody else what's up, you know, tell them about themselves, but we can't talk to ourselves, and we don't know how ourselves are working. And that's a reason I think a lot of people aren't getting the connection to the limbic system and that hippocampus. Besides for those two things, talking and pairing memory and emotion, like we all do, that's just the way we learn. You know, hot stove, oh, that burned, I'm not going to do that again. To not do something again, to choose to change, to dare you to not do the same thing you did yesterday. That's what changes, not doing the same thing over and over. And that's the challenge, is to not repeat. I'm repeating by doing the show, but this is a promise that I made. But after the show, I have to do something different. And after this show, I need you to do something different and start to see just any kind of decision. And if you don't have any emotion behind it, watch it lose its power. Watch you gain power in other areas. You empower yourself. That's what it's called, empowerment. And that's what my aunt always wanted me to have. And I want to give it to you. My great aunt Marlene say, do something nice for someone today. And that's her phrase. So I'll tell you that too. You know, it's the last of the show, so I can always say goodbye. You know, like I always do. Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. But Finland is now in NATO. My friends are there. I'm shouting out to them. I want them peace. I can't imagine if they even got involved with this horrible war. It would destroy me. And I'm wishing peace to people, peace in their own mind, so that they can practice these skills just like I am, you can too. More mind control of ourselves and awareness instead of just being so crazy, we can bring love to this world, some order. So this is ending 29 seconds. This is ending in 29 seconds. Thank you guys for watching. Be blessed, not stressed. Blessed over stress. That's Saints Anarchy. That's Saints Brand. This is Saints Eviction. I'm out, and I'll see you at Saints Giving. Peace. Ciao. Beijos. Stop. Pop. Lock.